Alright then, what's up everyone? I'm AsgardsChamp. Welcome to episode 15 of my playthrough for Total War Saga, Thrones of Britannia. Before we get into it, just want to say I'm trying to build a bit more of a following on social media now, so my links are going to be in the description for my Twitter and Instagram. If you haven't followed me already, please go ahead and do so, that would be great. And without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So, if we remember from the end of the last episode, we had a battle here with an army from Stratclute. These are the guys that came up kind of from the south and landed over here. We beat them at the end of the last episode, so that was brilliant. We do need to mop up this army here. I don't think I want to use Thor's hammer to do it though, because it kind of leaves this area undefended, and I don't want them to take any more of my settlements. My income's really low. It's a bit of a struggle with that at the moment. We need to be careful. So I think we leave these guys here. We have a bit of an issue with Fury of Tyr in that they are suffering attrition because they have a lack of supplies. Now, my understanding is that because if we work out the numbers here, this should increase in the next turn, and then subsequent turns if they stay in a settlement, or maybe even if it's just in friendly territory. Actually, they'll continue to gain supplies. So it might be worth just waiting this turn and then sending them north to deal with this army here. The remnants of it, so to speak. They're probably going to retreat here, I would imagine, or at least I hope. Makes things a bit easier because then I can kind of send them across and take this settlement back, but let's see. Now we also have the issue of, I'm not going to try and pronounce the name of the faction, but it's the ally of Stratclute. They've sent an army here, they took this settlement from me, and there's a Stratclute army coming down south as well. I only have a very small army here, sitting in Carliel, and they're going to supplement the garrison essentially and try and hold that as best they can. And finally, we have this big army here, the Death Givers. They're quite experienced units and so on. I'm going to send them over to the west here to try and deal with all this going on. So, I think at the end of the last episode, we were kind of at the end of the turn, but let's just check these events. So we're aware of this public order issues, that's fine. Risk of rebellion in North Mercia and Loden. Loden is here, so that's okay. We are aware of that as well. We have armies up here, so if there is a rebellion, we can deal with it. Damaged buildings, I think we're aware of this as well, but don't really have the money to be fixing those, so that's fine. And then attrition for the Fury of Tyr. Again, we are aware of that, so that's okay. I'll end the turn here, and then at the beginning of the next turn, we will obviously react to what they do, but I think the overall plan is going to be to try and secure up this sort of area, this border here, with this army. Send these guys north if the supplies situation is rectified. And we'll have to kind of decide with Thor's hammer. I don't really want to push them forward until they've reunited with the Fury of Tyr. They have a lot of replenishing to do though as well, so let's see. Anyway, I'll end the turn and then we'll kind of see what happens next turn. Alright then, so Fury of Tyr lost some men, which we were aware of. That's all fine. Yep, supplies have started going up now, so that's okay. They'll stop taking attrition. They're going to start replenishing. These guys somehow managed to get a unit back. I'm not quite sure how they managed that, but all the same, we are going to send them to be dealt with here by Fury of Tyr. I'm just wondering which is the best way to send them. If I kind of send them around this way and they head down south, we're kind of just going to be chasing them around, so I might actually send them this way. Might take a bit longer, but it'll force them to move to the left here. Yeah, I think we do that. Let's do that and see. The Death Givers then. We need to start moving them across to the west here. As expected, this army have come for Carliel, or at least that looks like that's what they're doing. So we need to move this army across, keep them to the road if possible. Take them a few turns, that's okay. And here, so they're only just out of reach, Thor's hammer. They can't quite reach these guys here. I'm wondering if it's worth me moving them across the border here, just to again put pressure on this army. Kind of sandwich them here. I'm just wary of losing, is this Dinbar? I noticed that the allies of Stratclute here are sending another big stack south. If this is left undefended, they will just kind of land there and take it. So yeah, need to be a bit careful. Maybe I'll just leave them where they are for now. I've noticed that we lost a unit in that last battle completely, so we're down to 19, so it might be worth just replenishing that. I don't think we need any spearmen. I'm not sure. I think it was a set of archers that we lost, so it might be worth taking another set of archers. If we can get the armoured ones, that's probably for the best. However, also thinking about this, got a real problem with money at the moment. And I don't really have much of a way of rectifying it this turn, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. I mean, we'll go into negative numbers. I can't remember how that affects us. I think it's sort of public order penalties and so on. Yeah, so we need to kind of get on top of this as quickly as possible. So, with that in mind, it might actually be worth me sending Thor's Hammer across just to take more territory. Taking 2 turns to get here. If we lose some of this in the process, then so be it. We'll just have to kind of deal with it, I think. Yeah, let's do it. We can be kind of reactive and see what they do as well. Now, one thing I forgot to mention as well was down in the south. Where are they? So the giant slayers here. We were moving them over to Dor here because there's low public order, and if there's a rebellion, I want to have an army present. Given the money situation, it might be a case of me having to actually disband some troops somewhere. This army would be a good first start. Thing is, none of the units they have really take that much in the way of income. I guess the long axemen do, and the cavalry do as well. I'd save myself a few hundred if I just disbanded them. You know, actually, I am going to do that. So the reason I'm doing this is I think it'll stop me from going into the negative numbers, so like bankrupt in the next turn. It just buys me a little bit more time. Yeah, so we've got maybe 2 turns now. This army doesn't need to be huge because they're not really doing any fighting at the moment. Okay, so that brings the income situation, or rectifies it a little bit at least. Now, is there any events? We've got low public order here, which is probably on account of this army sitting here, but they'll be dealt with in the next turn, I think. So we'll end the turn there and let's see what they do. Alright, so another decision to make with regards to the Here King. I think we're going to have to push this back towards the English because currently we're getting plus 20% upkeep cost for all my units. It'll knock it down to plus 10%. And that should help our financial situation somewhat, so let's push that towards the English. Yep, instantly puts us into the plus, which is perfect. There's another faction destroyed, that's okay. Got a settlement under siege, which is Carliol. I will show you that in a second. And some traits gained, nothing of interest there for us. Or nothing to worry about, rather. That's all fine. Risk of rebellion in Cumberland. We're aware of. Thor's Hammer are also taking attrition. Where are they? Okay, that's because they're out in the snow. But that's fine. This turn, we're going to head into here. So, a couple of things to note then. Go through what kind of happened in between turns there. Carliol got besieged by this army here. Oh, they look like they've got some strong warriors here, actually. So, tier 3 swordsman, tier 2 axeman. This is actually the king of the ally of Stratclute. I like the design of these square shields, actually. It's pretty cool. On that, then, I'm going to be sending these guys across to help out. I shouldn't take any attrition here, so that should be okay. Now, there was an army of Stratclute, which was like 10 units strong, that was set up here, and they were moving south with them. However, it looks like they've moved across now. And this is to maybe counteract what Thor's Hammer's doing. And the other big 20 stack from Stratclute's ally is kind of sat over here. They could very easily take Dinbar here, if they wanted to. Just leaves me with a bit of a decision to make, I guess. I think we press on and take Maelros. I think that's probably the smarter thing to do. And then we can head back north and reclaim that if needs be. This army here of Stratclute started messing around, so I'm going to move them back over this way. Play a bit of cat and mouse with these guys, I think. But at least they won't be taking attrition, they're going to keep replenishing, which is good. Now then, it's just kind of what I do with these guys now. It's a bit of a decision to make. I'll come back to it. Let's just see what else we need to do for the turn. They're under siege, that's okay. How many turns actually? So we've got 2 turns until we start taking attrition. I think, well, we should have that dealt with within 2 turns, so that's okay. And down to the south then, another thing happened. It's exactly what we expected to happen, was that Dor was taken by rebels. So, even though I, you know, did get rid of some units here, what I kind of failed to realise was that I got rid of most of my melee units, which is not good. I think we should still be able to win that fight, maybe even just auto-resolve it and see, but we are going to have to do this, I think. Okay, we're actually at a massive disadvantage here, and I think that's probably on account of us only having like 2 melee units and the rest of skirmishes. So I think we might have to fight this one on the battlefield and try to win it. This does leave me in a bit of a precarious situation, actually. The other option I've got is to recruit some more men again. It's quite frustrating. If I'd have known that event was going to happen with the Hay King, I wouldn't have bothered getting rid of those men. Now I need to kind of decide what is the best course of action here. Maybe the best thing to do here is to encircle them. Try and starve them out as much as possible. I don't think that'll go too well, but if we can recruit at the same time, I will do. I don't think I can, though. I think we have to be in a settlement. And then if they attack us, then we can kind of just use our skirmishes to try and really weaken them before sending in our melee troops. It's really risky. We have no spearmen to deal with their cav. They could just run riot with my skirmishes. But yeah, I think we're going to encircle them.
Attack!
They're probably going to fight, like strike out against me in the next turn, but let's see. Okay, these guys had all moved. The only decision I've got left to make is what to do with Thor's Hammer here. This army doesn't pose a threat, really, to Thor's Hammer. It's this one here that does. And it's mainly because they could kind of land on my border here and start taking settlements, which obviously we don't want them to do. Yeah, I think I'm just going to press on, take Maelross, then we can send them north again after that. This should increase my income a little bit and just put a bit more pressure on Strathclyde as well. And we'll get some nice replenishment from it. Okie dokie then, that's fine. So we'll end the turn there and see what happens. I'm fully expecting to fight against those rebels and probably lose this battle, but let's wait and see. Alright then, so this was unexpected, but probably good actually. The ally of Strathclyde have decided to attack Carlisle. Now they've obviously seen my big 20-stack army on their way and obviously decided they didn't want to get involved with that, so they tried to take the city. Now, balance of power's just about in my favour. I've got the garrison here, and I also have that small army as well. So let's fight this one on the battlefield. It looks like they've got some wolfhounds. I'm not sure how good they're going to be in a siege situation, but we shall see. They've got crossbowmen. They've not got too much in the way of skirmishes. They've got 4 units. I have about the same, but I've got the walls as well. So anyway, let's fight this one on the battlefield, then I'll see you guys there. Okay then, so as usual, I'll form the men up on the walls. Looks like they are sending their troops directly in front of us here. Can't see all of them, but I would imagine they'll all be together. We can kind of safely assume that's the case. I think the AI doesn't usually split them up. So I'll form up the men, and then I will be back with you once I've done that. Alright then, so what I've done is, for now at least, I've put my archers up on the walls, changed them to flaming arrows, and I'm going to try my best to take out these siege towers. If I can kind of keep them to just taking the gates, that's perfect. I think these are kind of the medium siege towers though, so they're going to take a little bit of shooting to get them to burn up. As long as we can get one of them down, that's better. You know, only have to defend one place on the wall. That helps us out. As well as that then, I've got axemen and swordsmen here. Important to note, actually, I've put my axemen and spearmen here in front of the gate, and these axemen here, these are the ones who have improved armor and improved weapons, so they're going to obviously have a bit of a better time holding the line, so to speak. So, and then behind them I've just got swordsmen. What I'm going to do is, once the towers get close to the walls, I'll move the archers out of the way and start sending the infantry up, and I've got my javelins just at the top of the front of the wall there. In reserve, just a bit back. All of these guys are in shield wall, by the way, just to protect them from any arrows. I've got 3 units of spearmen here and one of the generals. Then back at the sort of main capture point, in fact I'll just move these guys back a little bit. I've got the main general, and then a unit of swords and spears. Again, all in shield wall, and they're just going to help hold this point if it comes to it. In terms of barricades, I've just popped them on the left hand side here just to try and force them straight down the middle. Yeah, and that's about it really, so I'll start the battle here.
Be sure to protect your...
Now I'm just going to fast forward. I'll keep the video running though, but just to see, get things kicking into motion quicker. Once they come in range of my archers, which is about here, I'll start taking shots at the siege towers. I also have my other archers on the left hand side here who I will start to shoot at the other one. I don't think they'll manage to burn it up themselves though. Okay, I'm just going to play it here then. So they can start shooting now. And so can they, so that's fine. Get all the fire arrows shooting. Hopefully burn this up as quick as possible. If we can get both of them, that's perfect, but I can't see that happening, personally. They've got quite a big army here. It's a bit scary. Should have the troops to hold it, though. How's this tower doing? So it's at 20%. I think they might make it to the wall, to be honest. It's the medium siege towers, they take a lot more of a battering than the normal ones. Let's see though. So it looks like this tower's going to come land right here, and this one maybe here. So we'll start moving the troops up shortly, because I don't think we're going to get these burned down, which is a shame. In fact, yeah, let's do it now. Let's get the archers kind of moved over that way, these guys and these guys off shield wall, and have them move up here. Actually, I'm just going to keep these swordsmen at the bottom of the wall here for now. Oops, I'm forgetting this side as well. Let's do the same thing. We're going to be on the walls very shortly. I'm going to charge the swordsman up, but not until they've kind of joined in a fight. Come on, get up there quickly. Their ram is now at the gate as well. Okay, now these guys are actually going to put them on fire at will and turn off the fire arrows. Same with these archers here.
The enemy is at the walls.
Let them just start picking off their infantry as where they feel they need to. Okay, enemy at the walls now. They're not a good fit for them. The swordsmen are though, so let's get them charged up as soon as possible. It's always awkward on the walls. There we go. And I think we've got a similar situation up here too.
Our gates are utterly destroyed.
Gates are now gone as well. It's fine, we've got all these guys here in shield wall. They absolutely should take the brunt of any fight. Javelin men are getting absolutely pounded up there by arrows, but they do have the walls to protect them, so it's not too bad. Okay, it's quite bad actually, they're getting picked off left, right and centre. I'd rather they waste their arrows on them though, to be honest. That was a bit of an uneventful charge, I thought they'd come charging through. There we go, that's better. Okay, we just need to kind of hold them there as long as we can. Who are these guys? Swordsmen, what are they doing down there? I have no idea. Okay, they are moving up one by one to fight against these guys here. That's fine. Everyone fighting on the wall there as well. Wondering if it's worth me charging these spearmen in. These guys in shield wall should hold though. There's the oil pouring on them at the back as well. I think we'll leave them until they start taking more casualties and getting tired and so on, and then we'll move the second unit in. These guys are all okay. How are we doing up on the walls? We're losing quite a few men up there, maybe. The swordsmen seem to be doing better, mailed swordsmen. I think they've got troops round to the back of my javelin men here. Kind of sacrifice that unit. Get these swordsmen charging in. Don't want them all just lining up on the wall here. Oh no, they've captured the gate now, which means they're not going to have any more oil poured on them. I guess that's not the end of the world. I have no idea what these swordsmen are doing. I'm assuming because this tower fell, they can't go up these stairs anymore. That's why they've started running around this way, which is fine. It's going to be a bit of a grind, I think, this one. It's quite a lot of units to get through. I'm just trying to keep my men... Trying my best to keep sort of as many men in reserve as I can and only use them when the units fighting get tired or start taking too many casualties. Because these guys seem to be holding quite well. They're still in shield wall, which is giving them... I'm sure it gives them... doesn't actually say here, does it? All it means is it gives them a missile block chance. I thought it actually gave them some sort of defensive bonus as well, but never mind. Either way, they are holding the line here. They're still fresh. That's fine. It's the fighting on the walls which concerns me a little bit more. They're sending quite a few men up there, although some of them are routing actually. All I can see is the siege tower when I hover over. There we go. So the Cateran Axemen here, tier 2. They're the only ones not running away at the moment. The Alban Spearmen are wavering. These ones are running. Where are my men that are running? Was this the Spearmen up on the top? Can't see anyone else running. Nope, can't see anyone else, don't think. Archers, nope. Archers not running either. Their archers are still firing over into the side of us here, which isn't good. These axemen here are getting battered, so let's swap them out here for another unit. The swordsmen should do a bit better against these units here, the Alban warriors. They are tier 3, which is quite strong. Although my Danelaw Mail's swordsmen are tier 3 as well, so that's okay. Let's move the axemen out of the way completely. Let the spearmen do their thing. How are we up on this side of the wall? So our Danelaw axemen are about half strength. The male swordsmen also taking some casualties, but not doing too bad. They're all running from there as well, which is even better. Wonder if we can charge them across the wall here. I know it gets a bit weird sometimes with the pathfinding. Let's try it though. If we can find a place to attack, there we go. Sometimes they start running around and so on, but I want them to just kind of go across the wall here. It seems like the most efficient path for them to take. Alright, so they're still pressing in here. We've hardly taken any casualties with these Northumbrian Thanes, which is really good. They've held the line really well. I think it's because of their improved armour as well. That must help. There we go, we're charging them in the back now as well. It's made them start to run. I'm hoping once we've dealt with all these melee infantry that the archers there, all the skirmishers out here, will just run off. This has definitely been an easier defence than I thought it would be. Which I'm happy with, so that's fine. This is still a bit grindy. There we go, kill the general. That's perfect. Yeah, this is a little bit grindy in that we're just kind of having to wait for them to all die. Our men are doing really well though there, so that's good. Okay, everyone on the walls now is running.
The barricades are under attack.
Barricades. Okay, they've got some routing troops who decided to attack my barricade. Strange. So, with all these troops on the walls, I'm wondering if I should pull them off the wall now just to make sure they don't get shot at. Take unnecessary casualties that way. Get them all formed up here, put them in shield wall so they don't take any damage from those arrows. That might actually as well force their skirmishers to try and come in through the walls. If they put them up on the walls here from the siege towers, which yeah they've started to move in now. If they start climbing the siege towers, we can just send our infantry up and to attack them. Okay, they've started shooting this way now. Everyone's in shield wall, so we should be okay. They're still in shield wall. So that's fine. Now I'm thinking I will just fast forward here a little bit. There's no point in us kind of just sitting waiting for this fight to end. They've started taking a few more casualties now that their archers have started shooting at us though. Which is not good. Our archers are still on the wall actually. I think they've run out of ammo though. I'm assuming these guys have too, yeah. I'm actually quite surprised that they've not, their skirmishers aren't shooting against mine, but I guess if they've run out of ammo they don't really pose a threat.
See, they flee before our might.
Okay, more enemies fleeing, that's perfect. I'm wondering if it's worth me charging these guys in now. I'd rather not actually if they're getting shot at like this. Okay, let's get all these guys in shield wall and let's fast forward. We're still doing okay for numbers. Almost 100 men. They've lasted for a while. They are fresh as well. There's about 6 units here though. Who have we got actually? So javelin men, okay, archers, spearmen. So not particularly good units, which is good for me. Fortunately, it doesn't tell me kind of when their ammo's running out. It does tell me though that they're obstructed. I'm guessing they're having a harder time shooting through here. And they're probably shooting their own men in the back as well, actually doing that, but probably going to have to just wait this one out. I might just cut this bit out here actually, rather than sitting here watching. So I'll see you guys once this is all kind of wrapped up and towards the end. Alright then, so just a quick update. It looks like their crossbowmen stopped shooting. Must have run out of ammo and they've run them into this this fight here, so I'm actually going to charge these guys in now. I'm hoping more than anything it's just a bit of a impact their morale, you know, make them run away. Which I think it might have worked. They're all wavering now as well. Yeah, all running. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's chase them, actually. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time here chasing some of these guys down. I want to kill as many as I can. Just because they thought it was acceptable to attack me in my own city. So yeah, I'll see you guys back on the campaign map once I've done that. Okie dokie then, so yeah, we spent a bit of time and run down most of their units, which is good. I've got to say I didn't actually see the Wolfhounds in that battle, must have missed them. So with this army here, I'm actually going to take, I'm not going to take the replenishment, sorry, because we're in friendly territory anyway, so we'll take the money. Which is something we kind of need. Alright, so we've had a bit of a disaster between turns there, so even though we won that battle, Dinbar was sacked. So we'll check that out in a second. We killed an enemy in battle. I think that was their king actually, which is good. So Bertham here has gained Protector protects the troops, gives him more armor, 10% is quite good, and zeal. And Wulfric's prepared to defend, gives him zeal. I think these guys are governors, that's all fine. Okay, so a couple of things happened between turns there. So, yep, Dinbar here was sacked. Kind of expected that, I think. That's okay, we're going to send these guys back north. Now, actually, that might not be the smartest thing to do straight away. Reason being, it's only one army compared to a 20 stack and a 10. There's 30 units of troops I'd be going up against, which might not be the easiest. So it might be worth actually just waiting for Canute here. Send father and son together. Where can we get these guys to meet up? So we can have them meet here. Roundabouts. Which evens up the fight a little bit, even though he's still replenishing his troops. It is just his skirmishers. So it's not too bad. We can try and take this army out here. I'm assuming they're going to come up and try and take Coldingham or Dinbar here. Which isn't ideal, you know, we don't want them to do that, but I'd rather get these guys sort of chased down before they meet up with these two armies, making it even harder for me to attack. Now, this army here was dealt with. Can we reach them with the Death Givers? We can, but they've run off. There's hardly any men there. I think these guys should be able to deal with them. Yep, we'll auto resolve this. Let's fight aggressively because we hate them. And that should be them dealt with. Again, I'm just going to take the money because money is a bit of an issue at the moment. Another enemy killed in battle. Perfect. Now, I was thinking about this in between turns there. Now that I've brought the Death Givers up, I don't think there's any need for me to have this army, and they are just kind of going to cost me money unnecessarily, when I think that the Death Givers here might be better equipped to kind of just sweep round this coast and up to the north. So it's something for me to consider. I might disband this army completely. The other option I've got is to not disband them and actually recruit more men for them once I've taken a few more settlements. That's another option, I guess. And maybe send them south. I need to try and have a bit of a presence in the south. All I've got so far is this army, who are not doing too good at the moment. And eventually we're probably going to go to war with the Anglo-Saxons, and they're quite sizable. And when we do that, I want to have all my forces there. I guess that's a problem for future me to deal with. Anyway, I need to have a think on that and decide. But for now, I will be sending the Death Givers off west here to just sweep around this coast, take these 3 settlements. Once they reach this area here, see what the situation is. We may have moved in already with more units here, but we'll see. So I will end the turn there. Actually, let's just have a look at these things here. So we know about low public order, risk of rebellion in Lodin and North Mercia. We're aware of those. We actually have a rebellion in North Mercia at the moment. And damaged buildings in Carliol. Can we repair these? They're on the cheap, I think. Yep. Okay, they should all be repaired in a turn. And here at Dinbar as well, they were just sacked again, which means I'm not going to have the money to actually repair these, which is a shame. Hopefully the financial situations are going to improve shortly. I really need to take more settlements and get more income before we move back up to this level of the Hay King, because then my upkeep for my units is going to go up again. So we need to make sure that when that happens, we don't then drop into negative numbers. And skills available for Rick Siege. He's one of our generals. I think he was that smaller army that just participated in the siege there. And with these guys, I'm just going to give him another point in champion. I was thinking maybe pillager again, but I don't know if I'm going to be continuing with that tactic at the moment. Kind of got enough numbers to just sweep around and take the settlements. So yeah, I'll end the turn there, and then again we will assess things on the next turn. Alright, so as we expected, this is the rebel army down in the south have struck out to fight against my army here. This is the army that have primarily comprised of skirmishers. I only have 2 melee units. I mean, they only have 4 units in total, so we'll see how it goes. I will fight this one on the battlefield, just to make sure that we win this one, so I'll see you there. Okay then, so as usual, set the troops up. I won't spend too long doing this. We've got a nice big hill here which helps us, and lots of trees to set up some ambushes, so I'll do that and then be back with you. Alright then, so in terms of formation, I've moved my guys kind of right to the top of this hill here. So if they send their guys at me, I am going to charge down the hill, I think, or just let them charge up the hill to me. I've got them in shield wall. I don't think they actually had any skirmishers, but still, I think it helps them take the brunt of most charges and so on. They do have some cavalry knocking about somewhere. So then what I've done is hidden all my skirmishers in these trees here, just to the right. Got my javelins in the front here. We'll just group them, and also got my archers here in the back. So as soon as they get kind of in range of these guys and start attacking them, I'm going to try my best to just whittle their troops down, first the cavalry and then the infantry, and you know, throw javelins in the sides and arrows and so on. I'm pretty sure all their guys were shielded, so we want to try and hit them in the sides and the back. Anyway, I'll start the battle and then see you guys once they get a bit closer. They are quite far away, so it's going to take a while. So I will cut to when they get in range. Alright then, so we're back, guys, and unfortunately their cavalry have decided to come up the right hand flank. I was really hoping they'd be on the left side so that they wouldn't necessarily spot my skirmishers or be too close to getting a charge against them as soon as they start shooting. Now, these guys are charging up the hill. It looks like they're moving to the left to flank me. I'm wondering if I should turn. I think that might just be because they've got their troops spread, maybe. So my archers are now in range to shoot their cav. I'm wondering if I should just do it. Yeah, let's get them all shooting now. Try to do as much damage to these guys as possible, as quickly as possible.
Our general is under attack.
Okay, yeah, I think we've done the work against their cav now. That's perfect. And let's get them all formed up here to the side. We really need to start getting some shots into the sides. In fact, we'll aim for the general with the javelins, I think, and the bowmen here on this closer unit. If we can take the general out as quickly as possible, that's good. Cavalry have come back. Don't think they'll last too long, though, to be honest. This whole battle really hinges on my skirmishes. They are running out of ammo pretty quick. I need them to do as much damage to these guys as humanly possible.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Okay, battle's turning in our favour, that's okay. We've got the archers shooting into the sides of these guys here. Almost into the back of them, actually, which is good. Yep, they're running. Let's change the archers to shoot these guys. Let's actually move the... Okay, these guys have just rallied and are coming up with skirmishes, so let's try and shoot them down with the javelin men quickly. Which I think they've just made mincemeat of them, to be honest. They are going to get a charge in, though. Which is not good. Let's get some... Yeah, there we go, they've started running again. Now we want to get our javelins kind of around the side, and my archers actually. Let's charge their guys now. We've definitely got the numerical advantage here. I think we've got this one in the bag. Let's just get behind. Try and get these guys around to the side of these units here. Feel like we're going to take out a bunch of my own men here, but it's alright. Get them in the back, it's even better. Yeah, perfect, they've done the job there. Brilliant, let's chase their men down. try to take out their general here. Alright, I'll see you guys back on the campaign map. Alright then guys, so I was a little bit worried about that one, given that I only had sort of 2 melee units, but we managed to pull that one off. It probably wasn't actually that difficult in the end, but it's fine, we won. We got the city back, so we'll occupy that settlement. So we killed an enemy in battle, I think that's just the rebels, that's fine. Got some traits gained, Canute and the Thorkel, that's all good. Alright then guys, so thank you very much for watching if you made it this far. I am going to be ending the episode here. We are at the start of a new turn, so I'll crack on with that at the beginning of the next episode. If you like the video, make sure you leave a like, as always. If you've got any tips or feedback for me, leave a comment. And if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications as well. So, with that all said, I will see you guys on the next one.